number 35 of 2021 under the name of Honorable Inosi Kurindrani, and to ask the Prime Minister, Minister for Itauki Affairs, Sugar Industry and Foreign Affairs. Can the Honorable Prime Minister inform Parliament on measures that have been taken recently to reduce cane production costs and improve yield per hectare? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and I call on the Prime Minister and Minister for Itauki Affairs, Sugar Industry and Foreign Affairs, the Honourable Josiah Wainwright. You have the floor, Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to respond to the question being raised by Honourable Inosi Kurindrani. Mr. Speaker, my government is deeply vested in increasing per hectare cane yield, and we have supported several strategies through the Fiji Sugar Corporation and Sugar Research Institute of Fiji, which are aimed at increasing productivity and ultimately reducing average cost per hectare. The reason being, Mr. Speaker, because that puts more money in the pockets of our cane growers, which is what our support to that industry is all about. As we are all aware, Mr. Speaker, this is a tough time for cane growing. Our climate is changing, and that has had serious impacts through stronger storms, longer droughts, and of course, as we're experiencing now, a lot of flooding. Poor drainage, of course, Mr. Speaker, has led to waterlogged farms, which has depleted soil health due to rising soil salinity. Of the 13 cyclones which have struck us since 2016, Mr. Speaker, 6 have directly impacted sugarcane farms. TC Winston, TC Kenny, TC Josie, TC Harold, TC Yasa, and of course the latest one, Tropical Cyclone Ana. Apart from Tropical Cyclone Ana, for which the damage assessment is yet to be completed, the 5 cyclones have caused a total damage and loss of $255 million to the sugar industry. $255 million, Mr. Speaker. Of this, the total sugarcane crop loss was over $85 million. Mr. Speaker, the cane industry isn't changing as quickly as the climate, but we have made progress. Specifically, we have managed to improve yield. So when times are good, we get more out of our farms. From an average yield of 38 tons per hectare in 2016, the yield has increased to 46 tons per hectare in 2020, which is an increase of 21%. 21% increase in the yield, Mr. Speaker. The total cane production has also increased from 1.39 million tons in 2016 to 1.81 million tons in 2019, 1.73 million tons in 2020, an increase of 30%. Following Category 5 TC Winston, my government has provided direct assistance to build resilience by increasing cane yield and cane production. Over the past 5 years, nearly $100 million worth of assistance has been provided to support cane planting grants, weedicide, and fertilizer subsidy programs for inputs. Mr. Speaker, backed by cane planting grant assistance, a total of 18,821 hectares of cane was planted over the past 5 years. 18,821 hectares. The Ministry of Sugar Industry has also assisted growers with $40,000 each to procure a total of 25 tractors, along with implements to assist them in land preparation. Another 239 growers were assisted with farm equipment and implements. Mr. Speaker, we have also funded research and development and technology transfer activities of Sugar Research Institute of Fiji, SRIF, to provide quality services to farmers with 19 new commercial cane varieties to show for it. And another 2 promising varieties we expect to release within 3 years. Breeding new varieties, Mr. Speaker, isn't an easy process. It takes a minimum of 12 years to release a new variety after undergoing many trials. But it's a critical step to boost the climate resilience of our cane. SRIF have also surveyed all major pests and diseases affecting the sugarcane belt areas to prevent the spread of diseases such as leaf gall and ratoon stunting disease, which, if not controlled, have the potential to kill off upcrops, resulting in an up to 30% loss in sugar production. SRIF carries around 2,000 soil and leaf analysis projects annually. To extend its outreach, SRIF has opened new analytical lab in Lambasa, cutting down the turnaround time significantly. Previously, samples were sent to Lautoka for analysis. Now it happens on site for Lambasa's farmers. SRIF also carries out trials on new weedicides, fertilizer, and other products that impact cane yield. In terms of technology transfer initiatives, SRIF has planted 90 grower demonstration trials, planted and distributed 700 tons of hot water treated disease-free seed cane in nurseries, improved soil health initiatives, trained FSC farm advisors and farmers on new innovative technologies since 2016. To further increase yield and reduce production costs, we're focusing on farm advisory services, technology transfer services, research and development, farmer trainings, ratoon management, the adoption of best management practices, and the enhancement of soil health. Mr. Speaker, the FAC and SRIF restructured its field division and restored farm advisory services last year to make sure our farmers can stay well informed on industry best practices. There are now 28 dedicated farm advisors in all 3 mills. These advisors, Mr. Speaker, are well trained and serves as on-the-ground link between growers and SRIF. They deliver quality services as the timely ordering of fertilizer, analysis of soil health and crop nutrient requirements, weed control, crop varietal propagation, and also conduct various training through field demonstrations and in-house exercises. Essentially, they provide expertise on tap for our growers. Since 2016, over 60 farmer field school plots have been set out in various sectors, and 11 training sessions have been conducted by SRIF and FSC, serving over 1,000 growers. Mr. Speaker, best farm management practices are practices that help maintain sustainable sugarcane production while minimizing loss of yield and soil resources to increase production. The combination of high-quality advisory services and farmers' training has brought exceptional results on cane yield. A classic example is the results achieved by the Tunalia joint venture farms. With the adoption of best farm management practice, they have recorded an average yield of 126 tons per hectare from 15 hectares, with the highest yield of 167 tons per hectare on one of the plots and lowest at 81 tons per hectare. Efforts have also made to improve depleted soil health. From last year, the SRIF and FSC have been promoting the use of legumes as a cheaper technology to enhance soil fertility, reduce import costs, and increase yield by 15 to 20%. This process, Mr. Speaker, known as green manuring, has been supported by technology trials conducted by SRIF, which achieved an encouraging average yield of 137 tons per hectare. Through the assistance of cane planting grant, a total of 70 hectares of the targeted 284 hectares of green manuring legumes have been planted in the current planting season. Mill mud application is another method which has been implemented since 2019. Mill mud contains soil from the sugarcane that enters the mills, sugars and bagasse particles and lime, which is used in the clarification process and used as a soil conditioner or fertilizer, as it contains high amount of plant nutrients. It quickens the turnaround in soil health, thus rapidly improving sugarcane yield, both from fallow land and ratoon cane. A total of 73,430 tons of meal mud have been supplied to cane farms with assistance of government funds over the past 2 years. Mr. Speaker, ratoon comprises 90% of the total area under cane. Therefore, the focus is to properly manage these ratoons to increase yield. Research shows gap filling exercises can increase yield by 25% if ratoon is managed well after harvest. FSC is now aggressively implementing its ratoon managed project and identifying farms with large gaps. Growers are being advised to fill gaps with single set planting material. FSC, Mr. Speaker, is targeting a total of 8,000 hectares for ratoon management to increase yield from 46 tons to 51 tons per hectare and to achieve a minimum increase of 40,000 tons from this targeted area. Improving yield starts with quality seeds, Mr. Speaker. Apart from 700 tons of hot water treated seed cane that was distributed to cane farmers by SRIF, they have also established a tissue culture lab in 2019. Tissue culture is a technology that produces clean and quality planting materials for growers to spur the rapid spread of sugarcane for distribution. SRIF has produced 11,000 seedlings last year and has planted in Rarawai and SRIF Drasa estate farms with tissue culture seedlings. The severe losses caused by TC Asa and tropical cyclone Ana have been a serious setback, and this will not be the last storms to affect this industry. But we have not wasted any time in helping our farmers recover, and we stand committed to building their resilience to our changing climate. The Ministry is acting as proactively as possible to respond to the needs of vulnerable farmers with an allocation of $4 million. The FSC is also working with the Ministry of Environment and Waterways to identify and clear infield and main drains to address the long-standing issue of waterlogged farms. Meanwhile, the damage assessment for tropical cyclone Ana is in progress by our FSC team. Based on the initial reports, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry will then identify how we can best assist affected farmers. Mr. Speaker, we're not only going to respond, we are going to press ahead with our efforts to raise the bar for productivity, increase the area under cane, improve yield and reduce production costs. The Ministry has been enticing new farmers to venture into cane farming and to bring more land under cane farming. Through its new Farmers Assistance Program, 268 farmers have been assisted to acquire cane farms. Through this program, Mr. Speaker, new land has been brought under cane farming that has contributed to the overall increase in production. To produce better crop yield, Mr. Speaker, FSC will ensure that the seasonal plant cane cut-off dates are strictly followed, whereby fallow planting will be allowed only from 1st of March to 30th June, and replanting will be allowed from 1st of August to 31 October each year. Again, the results are best seen at the Tunalia joint venture farms, which strictly followed the seasonal planting program. The success speaks for itself. Mr. Speaker, FSC has also been promoting commercial farming. Large farms have a comparative advantage of scale as per unit costs are lowered. To date, 5 joint ventures have been established that produce a total of 12,900 tons of cane in 2020 collectively. In addition, the Committee for Better Utilization of Land, CIBUL, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has been activated to identify all vacant land that can be brought under sugarcane cultivation. Additional training sessions, Mr. Speaker, have been planned for growers to increase the take-up of best management practices and the transfer of the best technology we have available. With all these efforts taken together, Mr. Speaker, I'm confident we can increase overall yield, cut production costs, and put more money in the pockets of our hardworking growers, which, all things considered, is priority number one. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.